Sheer Curry says,
Ah,
hello, hello.
curry. Yes, yes. Yes, yes.
Sheer Curry says, I am delighted.
I am delighted.
Sheer Curry says, I spoke mine truth.
You spoke your truth.
Sheer Curry says, spoke.
Hmm.
Sheer Curry says, damn it, why does it correct it?
Because it knows you're retarded, and it's just trying to help you out.
Sheer Curry says, spoke eth.
This one.
Sheer Curry says, I am not retarded. I can park my car without much help.
Hmm.
Sheer Curry says, my dad's car actually.
Oops. Wrong brush. Normally, there's nobody ever on Thursdays. This is totally normal. Don't worry.
Sheer Curry says, but for chair.
Don't know where he is. Don't know. Don't know.
Sheer Curry says. Now I gotta do all the typing lol I need to paint a troublesome peony.
You don't need to type. Just relax. Paint. Just chill. I don't need attention today. I don't need attention today. Trust me. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it.
Sheer Curry says. Yes, you need attention, you're screaming for it.
Screaming for it, am I?
Rhiannon8231 says.
Rhiannon, what's up?
Hey there.
All right. Or if you got the message on YouTube, I responded to you saying I would stream today. Whew. And I'm making good on that claim.
Sheer Curry says.
Yes. How are you doing, man?
Hello,
Or
hello.
woman? How are you doing?
Rhiannon8231 says. I did. Thanks.
Good.
Only
good.
reason I was looking out really.
Cool.
Rhiannon8231 says.
Cool.
Woman here. LOL.
Awesome.
Thanks for asking. How are you?
Yeah, no problem. Doing great. Thank you. Stayed up a little bit too late because I'm a moron. But that's okay. We can take it. We can take it. We can take it.
Sheer Curry says. Finally more women.
I feel like the stream has more women than men. And the men act like women. Except for me.
Rhiannon8231 says. LOL. Another person in line EAG says.
Doesn't want
Yoluth. Sheer Curry says. You act like a gay man. Rhiannon8231 says. What did you do yesterday on this?
Buffer here, what's up? I just went in. I was only on, I think, for like an hour and a half, hour 15. Not long. I didn't have a lot of time yesterday, but I just went through the same thing and continued working to the area that was wet because it's malleable. And I'm going to continue to do the same thing today, just around this area, just really try to refine it. Honestly, ideally, you're working on this side at the same time. But I can still make this work. Like I know exactly how I want to paint this type of stuff. So, and I have it blocked in, so it's okay. But yeah, I'm just going back into this side and trying to make it work and make it make sense. So it's not just like, you know, this is very easy with foliage, as you probably know, to get the impression, but if you look, it's like it doesn't really make much sense. I want it to be able to say, there's the bush, there's the trees, like, there's depth here, type of thing. So I'm trying to make sense of it. It's not quite there yet, but it will be. Mm. Mm. Do this. This is a light brush, so it's a medium light, and then a dark one. Which I'm going with the round brushes. The round ones, yes, round ones. It's too short. No, she said. Round one. Come on. Come on. Hmm. Whatever, I'll just use this. The other one's better. Where did I put it? Okay, this works. Ooh, can I use this one? Nah, I'll use this. This is fun.
Future Oil Painter says. Cher Curry how's Netherlands prettiest old Holland TV commercial star going?
Okay. Let's do this.
Cher Curry
Let's go
says.
in with this one.
LOL I'm good, how is the too pretty to go to jail but for Cher doing?
Too pretty to go to jail. That's right, I forgot about that. You don't understand how many people want my ass. Do you know what people do to me in jail? People like myself?
Future Oil Painter says. I'm too pretty for jail, Your Honor.
I'm too pretty. Oh my gosh.
Rhiannon8231 says. LOL.
This is stupid as stuff. All right. Be the painting. Be the painting. Yes, that's the painting.
Cher Curry says. Objection, Your Honor, my client is too pretty for jail. Sustained. Cher Curry says. Hearsay. Future Oil Painter says. I plead the fifth.
Let's do this. Let's take that. Let's make that something different. Yeah, I plead the fifth. It's like a meme now, isn't it? go to it with a little bit darker brush and then go over it with a light.
Future Oil Painter says. Lewis using his unlimited palette.
Unlock your potential, butt for chair. Unlock it! Unlock the potential!
Sheer Curry says. Unlock your anus.
What's on your mind, Curry? Go ahead and tell us. Be honest.
Rhiannon8231 says. LOL. Sheer Curry says. Anus. Almond the Painter says.
Alvin,
What
what's
in
up?
God's name is going on here?
Freaking
Sheer Curry
amazing
says.
shit is what's going
Anus.
on. And that, of course. Woo!
Rhiannon8231 says. I asked myself that a couple times already today. Sheer Curry says.
Means you're on the right
It's
track.
a useful response for everything.
Yeah. It's one people will believe when they stare at you, too. They're like, look at her. Let's do this. I kind of messed up, but I can rectify this. Take this out. Take that out. Bring that down some.
Sheer Curry says. Rectum fee.
Okay. Now, start bringing some light up and graying it out some. Gray. Gray.
Almond the Painter says. I felt like Luciano Pavarotti today. Sheer Curry says. Fat. Almond the Painter says. Just had some pasta arrabbiata and a camel siggy. Almond the Painter
Arrabbiata!
says. So. Sheer Curry says. No way he smoked.
Possible, Alman the Painter, you're a possible ban invader apparently now. or Evader. Don't
Share
ask me.
Curry
I don't know
says,
what's going on.
did he? Share Curry says, Lewis, it always says that for Alman for some reason.
Does it really? Does it?
Alman the painter says, what is wrong with Twitch?
Dude, there's probably a lot wrong with Twitch.
Share Curry says, it's been like that for months.
That is really funny. I did not notice it.
Alman the painter says, whatever, technology and algorithms can suck a thing.
Exactly.
Alman the painter says, Christ will not be defeated.
There you go. Let's do this.
Future oil painter says, I have a headache.
Dude, I'm sorry, that
Alman the
sucks.
painter says, have a whiskey. Share Curry says, don't call your wife that. Future oil painter says, no way, she's probably would make it worse. Alman the painter says, I like the brush receding into the atmosphere, gives it depth and leads the eye along the composition nicely.
This area? Yeah. Q. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm like, what I kind of do is lots of experimentation with this stuff, and then I latch on to what's good and trying to enhance it as much as I can. Most of the time, I absolutely ruin it. Do I panic? Yes, but nobody ever knows. They don't see it. They don't see it. I can DJ here. Woo!
Sheer Curry says, I love this song.
Yeah, it's a great song.
Almond the Painter says, I mean that is how the greats do it, slap it on and make it work.
Yeah. It's gonna be a beefy painting. Beef?
Almond the Painter says, have you read the AJ Payne book on composition by any chance?
Uh, no, I haven't. It would only make me worse because it's below me. No, I should read it. I really should.
Sheer Curry says, you should at least know the golden ratio.
Yeah.
Almond the Painter says, Edgar Payne I meant, classically trained California painter, some nice epic landscapes.
Nice. I like
Sheer
that.
Curry says, actually you do have the golden ratio in this painting.
There you go. Hmm.
Almond the Painter says, you dare question the master Curry.
It's good to question me, dude. I kind of need it, probably.
Sheer Curry says, I do all the time. Rhiannon
Smart.
8231 says, he must be a natural.
Brandon's a wise woman.
Almond the Painter says, scandalous. Future Oil Painter says, what the heck is up with this weather? It's like April showers in August.
Dude, I love the rain. I love it so much. I can't even tell you.
Sheer Curry says, I think a lot of times composition can get bad if you overthink it with all those rules.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe.
Rhiannon8231 says, I agree, Share Curry. Future Oil Painter says, thinking hurt Hulk head.
The stiff, oh my gosh. Was this for the sky?
Almond the Painter says, I do agree, but it can also go south if you don't grasp it at all. Placing the figure nicely on the paper alone can do a lot for the drawing. Share Curry says, stiff.
I knew you'd say that. I knew. House? Hmm.
Share Curry says, that's true, Alman. Future Oil Painter says, placing your what inside of the what. Future Oil Painter says, what the? Almond the Painter says,
Here we go.
grazie Curry, balance is key as in most affairs. Share Curry says, but for chair get ya mind out of the gutter.
It's hard when he has 15 tabs of hardcore porn pumping through his computer. And the stream on the last tab. Or
Share
somewhere
Curry
in the
says,
middle because he's still flipping
you
them
would
up.
know.
You would know.
Future Oil Painter says, just random sayings, Your Honor.
Not gonna lie, it's too pretty to go to jail. You know what they do to a sweet piece of ass like mine in prison? You can't send me there. You should have thought about that before you robbed the donut store.
Share Curry says, I would make someone my bitch.
Except the opposite. Curry would be slain and mounted her hide on the
Share
wall.
Curry says, just like outside prison. Future Oil Painter says,
Outside.
Your Honor, if I drop my Irish Spring soap it's all over.
I drop. More like Dove soap or something. I don't know. Dove is women use
Share
Dove.
Curry says, LMAO, don't drop the Irish Spring soap. Share Curry says, no hating on Dove up in here.
Wait a second. Idea forming in cerebral cortex, which is not where ideas are formed.
Share Curry says, you form your ideas in other places we know.
Want to be more specific
Almond the
about?
Painter says, I use login French hair care products no one prob ally heard of.
So you're gay too, huh?
Sheer Curry says. I mean your peen. Sheer Curry says. Alman, you have great freaking hair.
Did he just post his hair? Did we get another hair post? You find if that was a thing in our Discord, people just started posting their hair. Just their hair. Blur the face out. My hair.
Sheer Curry says. Who posts their hair lol?
Don't girls do that? My hair.
Alman the painter says. Oh, thanks a lot, Curry, you Oswell, gracious Dutch waves. Sheer Curry says. Thank you. Future oil painter says. Look, how do you take care your face skin? Periodically my skin breaks out like a 13-year-old.
Are you asking me seriously? I mean, I can give you what I do, but I don't like really think about it, I guess.
Future oil painter says. Yeah.
I think like well, I'm always a very physical, like so I work out, I guess, and that
Future
probably
oil painter
helps.
says. Guessing Irish Spring soap.
Yeah, Irish Spring. Yeah. But I also like use a washcloth. Washcloths are good. It exfoliates. That's pretty much it. Wash it like with a washcloth just once, like before I go to bed at night. That's it. That's all I do. Don't put anything on it, or I guess I don't touch my face that
Sheer Curry
much. I
says.
don't know.
Of course you do nothing, damn it.
Yeah. And I guess I don't need a lot of sweets or sugar or anything. Sucks. It's probably that I guarantee probably I would think that would break your skin out. I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Future oil
I
painter
don't know.
says. I don't eat any sugar.
You don't eat sugar? Just like, yeah, I guess I just really the main thing is the washcloth. You just,
Almond the painter
you know,
says.
soap.
I am having my third croissant. Should I be worried? Future oil painter says.
My third
But I
croissant.
do eat processed stuff cause I'm poor.
maybe that's not good. Yeah, I don't know. I would imagine like lots of the fat's good for you. Like I
Sheer
think
Curry
fat's good
says,
for you.
processed food causes acne.
Does it? Okay.
Future Oil Painter says, damn it, I knew it.
Shit.
Sheer Curry says, diet, poor hygiene, hormones. Future Oil Painter says, guess I'm screwed.
You screwed, man. I told you
Almond the
that story.
Painter
The
says,
waiters.
future, work out as much as you can and try shopping healthier at a more affordable supermarket chain.
Yeah, I don't know what's good for your skin, honestly. Well, you know what? You know what? I bet you too. Like every morning, I have 3 eggs. Well, except for like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So not every morning. So like, well, 45 days. Sometimes on Sunday to do, but I think eggs are very good for your skin and hair. I think that's what I read. But I have that because it's just like I need the protein. The proteine, ho bisogno di proteine. Vabbè.
Sheer Curry says, drinking a lot of water helps.
Does it?
Eating
Okay.
clean. Some people get acne from diarrhea. Future Oil Painter says, you make scrambled eggs.
I do.
Almond the Painter says, beef stock is full of collagen and cheap, maybe try cooking with it. Sheer Curry says, dairy LMAO.
Yeah, I really do think the eggs have something to do with eggs. Just eat try to eat it as natural as you can and keep your face clean and exercise. Sweating helps, I think. Um, you know, sweats all the toxins out and stuff. We have actually a red light sauna at home, which is nice, and I use that a couple times a week, but I don't know how
Almond
much
the Painter
that
says,
helps.
curry with her dairy tolerance superiority.
Okay. Do this. But the red light saunas I would always recommend.
Sheer
They're very
Curry
good for
says,
recovery
hell
and
yeah, dairy for every meal.
dairy's good, man. Woo! There we go. This really is sunken in. Wow. Mucho's sunken in, as the Mayans say. Well, they probably do say that, don't they? Mayans? Maybe? Mayans speak Spanish, do they? Mayans. I should know this.
Almond the Painter says, the Dutch, may be the only Europeans to have worse cuisine than the English. Sheer Curry says, can't deny this. Future Oil Painter says, Curry has perfect skin, think in Europe they have higher standards on food.
But for
Sheer
Cherry's just
Curry says,
fascinated with curry.
I have bad skin but for chair. Almond the Painter says, obviously I am joking Curry, everyone knows us Europeans eat so good we have to compensate with cigarettes and drinking.
Well, the thing is, I do think that
Future Oil Painter says,
Europeans have fresher
it's
food.
not every
Well,
day
I
we
guess
run
depending
into
on
a
where.
TV commercial superstar. Sheer Curry says, no Almond, our food is gross.
I think it depends on the country, right? I know I know Italy, when I lived there, had very fresh food. That was good. They just didn't give enough, man. I was always hungry. They're like, you want to eat? Yeah, here. It's like a little bowl. You're like, ah, damn it. You look around, these tiny people are eating. They're like,
Sheer Curry says,
sono sazio, I'm
yeah, we
full.
have fresh food.
Yeah, the fresh food. I mean, that's like, and I remember when I came back here to America and was living on my own. So you're out of your parents' house at that point. I went to Walmart and I got a salad, or I got like a thing of, I think, lettuce, and then I brought it back home, and then I forgot about it, and then I found it a month later, and it was like exactly the same. And if you left lettuce in Italy, it went bad after 2 or 3 days. It would be all slimy and gross. But this was like exactly the same. I was like,
Sheer
huh.
Curry says, no.
I was like, this is not. That's the last time I bought that. No, that's a lie. Actually, I kept on buying it. I just ate it quicker, but I was concerned. Eventually, I phased out of that, started getting the fresh greens, and that stuff did decompose pretty quick.
Sheer
In fact,
Curry
funny story.
says, how is that possible?
Preservatives, they preserve it with probably formaldehyde. I don't know. All sorts of stuff. Anyway, I remember my dad, he was so mad at me
the
once.
painter says, that is Murica for you.
Yeah. Well, not at all places. Like, we're getting better at it now, I think, because everybody's realized how bad everything is. And so now there's like I think it's reversing now. They're starting to get rid of a bunch of toxins, poisons in the food, which is good. But anyway, I remember years ago, my dad he was so mad at me because, like, I was in the kitchen and I was picking through. We had this bucket of salad, but most of it had gone bad. So I was trying to pick out the good pieces because I was starving, and I got enough just for a salad. But I remember he walks in and he doesn't micromanage, but he walks in. It's like, what are you doing? I was like, picking the lettuce out. He's like, why are you being so picky? I said, because half of it's rotten. I want to pick the good pieces out. He's like, who cares? It's lettuce. Just put some sauce on it and eat it. And he was so mad. And I was like, I don't want to. He's like, yeah. And he just walks out the room randomly. I don't know why he did that. It was pretty funny. But he was so disappointed in me. It's like, what the hell are you doing?
Sheer Curry says,
It's like,
lol, your dad
he's
is
not a
awesome.
real man. Yeah, he's going through one of those things like, this is just number 890 why he's not a real man or something.
That is such a father thing.
Yeah,
LOL.
he was so disappointed.
Pewtery Oil Painter says, Jews eat that lettuce, Florence Academy boy.
Yeah, shut up. And then another time, I think I told you all this story, but I don't know. When I was moving, me and my brother were moving my dad out from his old work. So before we left, Dad's trying to get me and my brother to go, and he's already in a bad mood because this is Saturday and he's having to leave the place that he worked for like 30 years. So he's in a bad mood, and me and my brother are procrastinating. My brother finally gets in the car, and so he's wondering where I am, and they're backing up the driveway, and I walk out with just like these sandals. I just had sandals on. I think I was just holding them in my hands. And he backs up the truck. Like, this is how it looked. So, like, if you can imagine, he backs up the truck, and I remember he has a sweatband on. He just backs up, and then he's looking at me like this, just giving me the coldest stare you have ever seen. It was scary. He used to be very scary. And my brother, who's sitting right here, so like I couldn't see him until he leaned forward. He was like, looking at my dad, looking at me, thinking something's gonna, like, he was just waiting. And Dad's like, what the hell are you doing? I was like, what? He's like, that's what you're gonna wear? You got to get some shoes on. I was like, I'll be fine. He's like, Just get in the damn car. He was so mad at me. So mad. Scary, though. It was scary. Y'all don't know it because y'all see a nice old goat.
Sheer Curry says,
Is everybody's friend?
I thought he was gonna run you over LMAO.
He was scary as
Future Oil
shit.
Painter says, your dad was fixing to hoop OS.
Yeah, he was. It was really scary. It was really scary. It was frightening. People have no idea.
Almond the
No
Painter
idea.
says,
No idea.
what is it with Mediterranean fathers being always mad?
It's not just Mediterranean. It's I think it's probably every dad. The thing is, you knew you deserved it. That's why it was afraid. Like the thing is, if you hadn't done anything, at least you had that in the back of your head, like I'm safe,
Sheer
I'm good.
Curry
Like,
says,
but if you knew it,
my dad is like a
there was no
Muppet.
way out. Your dad's like your what? Like a Muppet. Ow. It's pretty funny. But anyway, yeah. He used to be so scary. Oh my gosh.
Future Oil Painter says,
Ugh.
probably different with daughters. Sheer Curry
It's always
says,
different with daughters.
were you scared of your mom?
No. No. Not at all.
Almond the Painter says, white Swedish dads are docile as hell. I saw their kids scream at them and them doing nothing. My father would have hooped my ass in that case.
Yeah, I would. My kid's not going to do that. He's going to be too afraid to do
Future
that.
Oil Painter says,
Always teach through fear.
both my parents were scary.
Fear is healthy. I grew up in fear. I know. I now see the wisdom behind it. The benefits. That's the thing. You knew you were doing something wrong. It's not like I wasn't afraid because my dad was abusive. I was afraid because I knew I did something wrong, and that's how they trained us. You do something wrong, you're going to get, there's a consequence. You know. It was funny. It's good.
Almond the Painter says, hey, after all, parents are supposed to be parents and prepare us for the world.
Damn right,
Thank
man.
you, parents.
101.
Sheer Curry says, I was the good little girl. My brothers were bad teenagers. Future Oil Painter says, now look at us, completely normal, absolutely positively muffin wrong with us.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. We have it all figured out here.
Sheer Curry says, LMAO muffin wrong.
Muffin wrong. Did he say muffin
Almond
wrong?
the Painter
He did,
says,
didn't he?
ha 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 on spot
What is that?
future.
Every time Alman speaks, there's this giant box. 1 second. Let me see if I can fix this.
Rhiannon 8231
Actually, I'm scared
says,
to touch it because I don't know what it's
don't
going to...
mind our bodies twitching thinking of our parents and past.
Oh, wait. I missed that 1 second. Don't mind our bodies twitching. You're like... Yeah, it was for our own good, right?
Almond the Painter says, I can change my username if it's bothering you.
It's not bothering me. No, it's actually hilarious. It's not bothering me at all. I was just
Future Oil Painter
literally
says,
curious.
thanks to the beatings the military was a breeze for me.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like...
Rhiannon 8231 says, LOL exactly LOL.
It's like all these kids,
Sheer
I don't
Curry
know, there was
says.
like kids slapping
Oof.
a teacher in school here in I think in North Carolina, and just this kid just slapping the teacher doing nothing, and it's unreal. Like these kids, and what's crazy is that I guarantee you they don't do anything because the parents would get mad for disciplining the kid. Let me tell you something. I mean, y'all is probably the same with y'all. If we did anything like that, you get expelled and probably possibly put in like juvie or something for doing that, which they should. And our parents would annihilate us.
Future Oil Painter
They would
says.
take the side of the
In
teachers.
boot camp it was like, oh, you need me to run 10 miles. Okay. Sheer Curry
You just
says.
do it.
But would you let a teacher hit your kid?
If they deserved it, yeah, if they deserved it, you have to discern that stuff. If they It depends on the situation. If it was an abusive teacher who would close fist a kid for like something small, I don't condone that. No, that's horrible. But if the kid is especially okay, if it's in like especially if it's in like some juvie place or some hard school where the kids are very ill behaved and they're going through and they're hitting other kids, they're
Almond
big
the
enough to
Painter
be
says.
hit. Yeah,
My teachers did.
100%.
Because I thought I was a comedian.
They used to hit kids in school and people used to be more disciplined. Now, I'm not saying that you should jump to that, but I think at some point, some kids, that's the only way they learn. I'd rather them get hit by a teacher than get killed in real life. Because people are crazy. Crazy, crazy. But I mean, like I said, you have to be virtuous about it. You can't just, I don't know,
Almond the Painter
it's
says.
such a broad thing.
Amen to that. Future Oil Painter says. Back in those days I'd say to my dad, I'm gonna tell em at school how you beat us, but back in those days schools didn't really care.
They don't. And I remember what my friend who is the guy who I did the painting of Charlene Richard for, the portrait. He went to Catholic school, and the nuns the nuns would slap him. Like they gave his friend a bloody nose because they were cracking up in the back of class, and he was still cracking up with a bloody nose. And he was a disciplined kid. He turned out okay. He survived, is my point. But yeah, like you can't have somebody going through and just hospitalizing people. I mean, there's a line. I mean, this is but um, when I was in kindergarten, there was a paddle. There was a paddle behind, like on the wall of the principal, and I would hear kids getting paddled, but you always knew that they deserved it. They had done something horrible. They disobeyed the teacher. They were very disrespectful, and
Sheer Curry
consequently, people
says.
had respect for
A paddle.
their elders. Yeah, a paddle. Yeah, yeah. Do what you want with that. But it did. It taught them respect, and so they know to teach. They respect their position. They know they need to be taught about authority, respecting their elders. I mean, these are things that aren't taught anymore. You can't just say, "Hey, look, you got to do this," and then the kids can hit whoever they want, and then they don't get disciplined for it. If you're afraid of getting punched in the face, you're not going to do half more than half the things you're going to do if you're that type of kid. And that's just how it is. These kids are just too violent, man. They're crazy. A lot of them. They're not smart either. That
Rhiannon
stuff,
8231
you know.
says. They knew that if they stepped out of line, you are risking your behind. Almond the Painter says.
Exactly. It's just common
Yes,
sense.
Curry. Not all
100%.
places are civilized like the Nederland LOL.
But yeah, I would definitely look if it was if we brought that if you have that more virtue in society and brought it back to, like if you rewound, for example, 30 years ago, maybe 40 years ago, 40 years ago. You're asking if I would let yeah, you can definitely hit my kid. They do something wrong, they're going to get hit. Sure. Yeah. Let the kid know. So that way, you don't want to get hit? Well, then don't be an idiot. And guess what? You're teaching people not to be idiots. And my kid's not going to get arrested. He's not going to get, he's going to have a head on his shoulders. That's what, yeah, 100%. Wouldn't like it, but it's better than the alternative. That's how I look at it. Now, a lot of people will
Share
say, "Oh,
Curry
you're
says,
abusive. You hate kids."
the idea of
Shut up.
disappointing someone was frightful enough for me.
Yeah, exactly. Like I always felt so bad. I was like, oh, like when you did something wrong. Now it's like it seems like they just don't care. They're like, what can I get away with? It's not doing them a favor. It's just not, man. Raising a generation of Dumases. But yeah, I do think that needs to come back, personally. I don't know how, but
Share Curry says, so aren't you reluctant to have kids in this current world? Rhiannon8231 says, I see videos all the time, kids telling teachers to shut up and teachers are pissed.
yeah, yes. Again, there was a kid, he was, okay, so many things were wrong with this. I don't care, I really don't care about color. I don't. There's a black kid, probably about 15, 16, and at that age, you're getting stronger than women. You are stronger than women at that age. And this female teacher, probably in her 40s or 50s, is sitting there and he just goes up and slaps her hard and then slapped her again. She's just sitting there as if nothing happened. And what did the people do? They just filmed. Nobody got up and stopped him. He just slapped her twice. And she's just sitting there trying to talk and reason with him. You never hit a woman like that, ever, as a guy, ever hit a woman as a guy. You do not hit a teacher. You don't hit people. You don't, there's so many things wrong with it. It was, guys, I'm telling you, it made me sick. And this happened within the last 2 years or so. I don't know. But this stuff is bullshit. And then people are like, oh my gosh, well, why is everything out of control? Oh, well, let's ban plastic forks so people don't hurt themselves. Some bullshit. Like, it's being run by idiots, this whole thing. It is. Like, you're not, like, what are we doing? It's not helping the kids. The problem is, it's like people, they want to be perceived as like so compassionate for whatever, like standing up for child abuse. It's just retarded. And that's why I told Terry, remember, he's like, you want to come to the class? Yeah, sure. I was deathly afraid I'd get him fired. And I did a good job. I was fine. Except for one or two things that I accidentally said, which really is not my. Look, it's eggshells every time you walk into these places.
Common sense and critical thinking has gone the way of the dodo.
Exactly. Exactly. And like, it has to come back, and people have to stop being such pussies about it. Y'all are getting me worked up again. Which is good. I need to get worked up every once in a while. Let's bring that up some. But yeah, like, I think it needs to come back. That is something that, look, ideally you're able to talk.
You get yourself worked up, Yamoran.
I do. I mean, but yeah, like, you want to
8231
always
says,
try to talk to people.
Use that worked up energy to paint faster, LOL.
Every time well, I'll tell you what would happen. I can paint fast all day long, but then I go back and I'll see that I did everything wrong. Doesn't matter how much, like, how good I think I'm painting. Honestly, the slower you, like, the more time, if you take your time and paint the brushstroke slowly, you observe what you're doing, you're thinking about what you're doing, you're actually going faster, even though physically you're moving slower.
He is Italian, Curry. You can't blame him.
Probably that's a good point.
Almond the painter says. Us Southerners get like that sometimes.
Well, you guys, y'all are, it's preaching to the choir. Y'all, yeah, this is something that's frustrating. I get,
Sheer Curry
I have
says.
no patience for
We
people
Dutch always keep our cool.
who want to,
Don't be so over the top.
they're such cowards that they're more interested in themselves being perceived as a virtuous person than actually helping
Future
somebody and
oil
doing
painter
actual
says.
good.
In 8th grade there was a pretty big kid who was known for doing boxing training. He was bullying a friend on the bus and was taller than me, so after we got off the bus he tackled me. I fell back, and
And dot dot dot.
Future oil painter says. All I could do at that point I reached for his neck and squeezed as hard as I could. He kept swinging at me, but couldn't hit me cause I was choking the heck out of him.
You just choked him to death. Is that what it was?
Future oil painter
The good
says.
old bus fights.
And at one point some adults came over and took him off of me.
They were placing bets.
Sheer Curry says. This only happens with boys.
All right, so I went back to my old school to give a talk a couple of years ago. Walked in immediately. There was a fight between two girls who were fighting like men, and I was like,
Future oil painter says.
I didn't.
Ya choked him, and then get this, he was claiming to be the victim of the crazy
Yeah,
choking boy.
yeah. So like the teachers were there. I think the teachers' hands were tied because they couldn't touch the kids at this time. So
Rhiannon
they had
8231 says. Does he have enough hand strength to commit his first murder lol?
anyway, yeah. So like the students stopped the fight instead of the teachers, which I thought was really weird. It's just everything's backwards with it is all I'm saying. It's just bullshit.
Rhiannon 8231 says. Repeat that story, Louis the First didn't hear you.
Yeah,
Almond the
so
painter says. We need to cleanse the chat and say a prayer or something.
I went I went back to my original high school to give a talk, and the second I walked in, there was two women, like two girls, young girls, who started fighting, and um, the teachers just like were there, but they weren't stopping the fight, and you had to have the student come in and stop the fight. Other students come in and stop the fight because otherwise the teachers would be accused of touching them improperly or something. Like it was kind of crazy. It was like immediately right when we walked in, it was two chicks and they were just kind of slapping each other, trying to pull each other's hair. But it's just unreal. It was unreal. Because, I mean, when I was there were fights, but the teachers would break them up. Now, maybe that's changed. Maybe it's going, I don't know, but it's just unreal.
Sheer Curry says, I'm happy I don't have anything to do with society anymore. Rhiannon 8231 says, wow, that is idiotic.
Well, it's dangerous for the kids. I mean, and to their credit, like they stopped it, but I mean, it's just, I don't know, man. I just remember that place. It was horrible being there. Do not miss it.
Sheer Curry
Do not
says,
miss it.
wasn't that a private school?
No, this wasn't. This was a public school.
Sheer Curry says, I thought those kids were classy.
Um, look, a lot of those kids are good kids, but no, this place was not anything like that. Break that up some. Okay, let's keep moving around. Let's work the tree. Some got work down there too at some point. Time is it?
Sheer Curry says, you have great songs today.
Yeah, they're good songs. So a few songs I wrote last night.
Rhiannon 8231 says, cleansing the chat energy now, eating a cookie. Rhiannon 8231 says, shame I cannot hear the music.
Rhiannon, it is on Twitch. If you type my name in on Twitch, twitch.tv. That's where the music is. I would play it on YouTube, but I can't. I can't. They don't allow it.
Rhiannon 8231 says, I understand.
Yeah. Which, like, Twitch is free, by the way. It's just a different website. That's all. You might know what it is. You might not. I don't know. Some people don't. It's mainly, predominantly for streaming games, but it's a very small pocket of artists on there.
Future Oil Painter says. Oh, reminds me, Luth. I made the mistake of putting into that Insta ad for art storefront. Well, they haven't stopped calling.
It's so annoying, isn't it?
Future Oil Painter says. Finally pick up the phone. And they said it costs $1,700.
For what?
Sheer Curry says. What is it? Future Oil Painter says. It's basically people that set up a website store for you to sell your art stuff.
Why don't you just use Etsy or something? Like, you don't need to pay that much for Etsy, right?
Future Oil Painter says. I was just trying to see if I could make t-shirts.
Well, you didn't pay it, so they're not saying you owe them that, right?
Future Oil Painter says. Yeah, I'm gonna look into ETSE.
Etsy, good. Etsy's probably better. A lot of people sell on Etsy. There's a lot of good stuff on there. And it's a well-known name.
Future Oil Painter says. Those guys are crazy. I'm not gonna sign up for that.
No, that's kind of crazy. That's insane. Listen, the only way something like that is worth it is if they're connecting you with high-end clients.
Future, why not use Cafe Press or Zazzle to make t-shirts for you?
Do this. A second here, guys. Hopefully I'm not blocking the painting. Like as I paint, I might have been blocking this right here. What was I doing? I forgot what oh yeah, I got my phone so I can bring chat up on this window, that's why.
Future Oil Painter says. Cafe Press or Dazzle, I'll look 'em up. Windy City 1828
Windy
says.
City, what's up?
Hey, hello, Lewis.
So like, the only way something like that is worth it is if they're gonna hook you up with high-end clients, because then you could make that money back. Like, for example, if I could find a place to sell my type of work, and you're talking about like selling a painting for $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, sure. $1,000 if you want, yeah. You want a cut of that? I'll give you $1,000 cut. Fine. You know, if that's gonna, all right, we got it lined up, sure. It's great. But if it's something where it's, you know, just to use it and there's not gonna be a return on it, then yeah, it's insane. It's insane. It just doesn't work that way. Oh my gosh. It's just so crazy. It's crazy. It's cray.
Dantist 9906 says.
Dante!
Like and subscribe, please.
Thank you, Dante. How are you, man? How are you, man? Wait a second.
Sheer Curry says, what do you think about art fairs?
They're good. Let's
Dentist9906 says,
come on,
like and
yawn.
subscribe you bastards.
You bastards.
Sheer Curry says, fools.
Mm.
Rhiannon8231 says, Lewis, do you ever do color mixing videos?
Yes. I have one on, I think it's limited palette. Let me see. Let me see. Give me a second. Rest my eyes just a second. See if I can get the link for you. It shouldn't take too long. Got it right here, I think is. Your content, sort by views, probably. View all. Sort by most viewed. How to mix flesh tones in oil. I have a grisaille painting demonstration, hue variation, flesh tone for beginner morons, brush mixing to your stupid face. So I'll link, let me do this. Top one, mixing, how to mix flesh tones. You want the flesh tone one? I probably have a landscape one too, somewhere. Like, which one do you want? What type, what do you want to mix? Mixing color, skull, pumpkin. There's pumpkin still. I don't know if I have a landscape one. I think I do, but it's, anyway. I'm gonna link you the flesh tone one. So this has a lot of the basics in it too. Copy.
Rhiannon8231 says, LOL, okay, I will look them up. I am
Here.
more interested in mixing colors, all of them for everything.
Okay. And I can do a demonstration on this too, like for you at some point, especially when I need to remix my colors. I'll do a little mixing demonstration for you when you're here. How do I type things in? Is that it? Yeah. Paste.
Louis Guidetti says, easy how to mix flesh tones in oil paint and organize palette for greatness link. Louis Guidetti says, easy how to mix flesh tones in oil paint and
Why did you do it
organize
twice?
palette for greatness link. Rhiannon8231 says, thank you.
You're quite welcome, Rhiannon. All right. There we go.
Sheer Curry says, good job pasting a link.
Shut up. Let me get this thing off. It's taking it. There, place to sail. Dun, 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 dun. Okay.
Future Oil Painter says, oh, back.
All right, bruh.
Future Oil Painter says. Guess someone is streaming Cornhub.
What are you talking about?
Future Oil Painter says. Oh, I mean because lost signal for a bit.
Oh, we did? Okay. Wait a second. 1 second. Huh. It was raining. Thought it was raining. Thought it was raining. Oh, yes. But no, alas.
Rhiannon 8231 says. The sky has tears for you.
This guy has tears. This guy's crying. Let's see.
Rhiannon 8231 says. Tears of joy, of course.
Of course. Of course. Of course.
Future oil painter says. Look, you're pretty good at drawing the trees. Was landscaping your fave?
Um, I mean, I enjoy landscape. Portrait's my favorite. Then probably landscape and still life. Like portrait and figures up there. Try something. So it's actually. Uh, this.
Rhiannon 8231 says, do you glaze as a last step on portraits?
Um, Not really. Mine's more direct painting. It's not that I'm like slowly glazing so that the underpainting is showing. Um, and glazing is like so like glazing is essentially going from light to dark, and then scumbling is from dark to light. Um, but I I don't really do that. Um, which is like kind of Trump delay, which is Trump delay is like the study of what light does. Like if you have the surface of the painting, like the actual canvas, and then the paint layer is here, and then the sun, the light's hitting it. Trump delay is the study of what happens between the layers, which is really cool. So you can get nice effects where it like comes down, bounces up, and then comes off like it's more vibrant or warm, depending on how you've built the layers up. I don't do that as much. I should. Mine's more of just direct painting. So I do build the paint up. I essentially work it like this. I just try to get the large shapes and keep it thin. And so that the shadow shapes can be transparent and thin, like more transparent. I try to keep it very thin. And then as I become more confident in the drawing and build it up and build the paint up, that's when I start going through getting more specific. And yeah, I'll start bringing the light values up and like pushing the light in certain areas and like kind of like around here, like I'm starting to push it, but I'll continuously go through and kind of refine it and maybe take it back some. Um, but it's not as much like layering it. I do layer it, but it's not as like slowly like a glaze layer going over it. Does that make sense? I'm not like thinning the paint out to get like an effect. Um, so it's just a different style of painting. But honestly, I should try that at some point. It's like do something where, you know, it's just, I mean, that would be cool. That would be fun. Trump delay.
Sheer Curry says,
Trump delay.
yes, you should glaze. Rhiannon 8231 says, yes, it does, just to let you know though, you buffered a bit just now.
I buffered. Okay. Thank you.
Rhiannon 8231 says, she Curry, do you like to paint also?
Curry is very good. Curry, you should show her your site. Now it's on Pornhub, but if you go straight to it, and she has some questionable stuff, but she does have artwork on there. All right. She has over 8,000
Sheer
videos,
Curry
and about
says,
20 of them are art.
yes, always painting. Sheer Curry says, my website is anwn.nl. Sheer Curry says, damn you Lewis. My reputation is on the line.
My rep. Ryan. Oh, ruined that. That's okay. Back. This isn't working. I need to focus this for a second. Guys, in about 5 minutes I have to leave to go get my dad, but I will stream the class
Rhiannon
tonight.
8231 says, She Curry, you have some very beautiful pieces, love them.
Yeah. She has some good stuff.
Sheer Curry says, LOL, you actually looked. Thank you, you.
Of
Rhiannon
course she's gonna look. You linked
8231
it.
says, Thank
Psycho.
you, Lewis. It will be nice to get up and move around anyway, lol.
Good, good, good. Yeah, I'll be back streaming in about an hour and a half. I have to go home, situate my dad, and then I run back here for the class that starts at 6 Eastern. I normally get the stream up by 6:15. So this one here, actually, this is, that's it. Wait, this.
Rhiannon 8231 says, I hope I do not miss it. It depends on real life.
Gotcha. Well, you do your thing, all right? I'm
Rhiannon
always grateful for anybody who's
8231
there. I
says,
never,
LOL, of course I looked. I was curious.
yeah, I never take that for granted.
Future Oil Painter says, What's going on here, lol?
Huh? Bruh. We're just chilling. We're chilling.
Share Curry says. Vibin' out.
We're vibing.
Future Oil Painter says. Noise website Share Curry. Share Curry says. Rizzing as the kids say.
We rizzing?
Share Curry says. Thank you bud for chair. Future Oil Painter says. Telling you got to start selling paintings like a commercial model. Share Curry says. I should post my paintings on OnlyFans.
Now you're thinking.
Rhiannon8231 says. LOL sorry she Curry LOL I don't pay for it. Share Curry says. I wonder if anyone has posted pictures of actual fans on there. Future Oil Painter says. Could be like filming a wall with your painting in background, and you sitting there having a coffee latte with extra sprinkles.
Shut up, man. With the extra
Share
sprinkles
Curry
on top,
says.
please. You know, I do get
That's
whipped
more
cream.
Lewis style.
No, I go in like, the only thing when I go to Starbucks, which is once in a blue moon, I'll get the cafe mocha, which is like the chocolate coffee, and I have them put whipped cream on top. But I do French
Share
press
Curry
like at
says.
home. I am refined.
Once a day isn't a blue moon.
See, it's not once a day, idiot, dumbass. People, I give them gold, and what do they give me? Insults. Insults. All right, guys, I gotta go help me, papa. Okay, me, papa. Me,
Share
papa.
Curry says. OMG he broke the paper with his head. So strong.
All right,
Share Curry
I am
says.
strong.
Bye retard.
I'll see you guys.
Future Oil
Be back
Painter
on later.
says. Extra whipped cream, with a smiley face. Rhiannon8231 says. Okay, you are a great son, see you all later if I can.
Thanks, Rhiannon.
Rhiannon8231 says. Enjoy the night.